Today we're going to focus on English grammar and the written language. There are three things that we're going to specifically focus on today, which is going to be capitalization, punctuation, and paragraph grammar structure. First, we're going to discuss and explain some of the things that, like rules, that you'll see in each of those different sections. Then you're going to go with a partner that you're sitting next to. I'm going to give you and your partner each one sentence, and between the two of you, you're going to figure out what's wrong in the sentence. And then you're going to come back and we'll go over them together. And then from there, I've got a paragraph written on the board behind me. We're going to discuss and explain and go through every error that we find in this paragraph. In the paragraph, there are 9 things. So each person here will get a chance to find one thing and explain why it's wrong. So first, we're just going to explain, we're going to discuss, and we're going to find out, how do we know what's wrong? When do you capitalize? When do you write a question mark or an exclamation mark? First, let's start with capitalization. You're only going to capitalize the name of people, places, or things, so any nouns are going to be capitalized. But you also need to capitalize the first letter of the first word at the beginning of a sentence. So if I have the word, the boy ran, the first word in that sentence is the. So the first letter of the word the would be T. T needs to be capitalized in the word the, because it shows that that's the beginning of my new sentence. It's not a noun, but since it is the beginning, that's when you're going to know, that's how you know to capitalize that. Now, if I said, the boy Bob ran home, there are 2 words in that sentence that would be capitalized. First, the word the has the capital T because it's the first word of the sentence. The name Bob is going to be capitalized because it's a noun. It's the name of the boy. The boy Bob ran home. There are 2 words, and if we said that he went to the store, then maybe the name of the store would be capitalized. But since he went home, yes, that could be a noun, but it's not the name of a noun. It's not the name of his house. It's not, so that's how we know that home is not capitalized. But the is capital, the T in the is capitalized because it's the first sentence of the first word. And then Bob, has a capital B because it's his name. So that's how we know when to capitalize. So there are different kinds of punctuations. First, you have an exclamation mark. When do you implement an exclamation mark? You implement an exclamation mark when you're excited or you're showing enthusiasm, or I'm not just telling you the boy ran to the store. I'm telling you the boy ran. I'm really excited about it. That's when you would implement the exclamation mark. Now, if I just said the boy ran home, there's no enthusiasm. I'm not excited about it. I'm not, screaming it at you. That would just be a period. Now, if I change it to a question, then would it be a period? No. Would it be an exclamation mark? It wouldn't, because it was a question. So if I ask, the boy ran home, what is the punctuation mark that goes at the end of that sentence? A question mark. A question mark goes at the end of a question. So if I say, the boy ran home, and I put a question mark at the end, is that appropriate? It's not, because I didn't ask a question. So there are 3 types of punctuations at the end. There's a period, if I'm just telling you something, an exclamation mark, if I'm excited or showing enthusiasm about it, and the last one is a question mark, and that's when I'm simply asking a question. The last thing that I want to focus on is paragraph structure. So, what needs to happen at the beginning of a sentence? You need to have a what. You need to have a capital letter. At the end of every sentence, you need to have a what. You need to have a period at the end of every sentence. Not necessarily. Sometimes you can have an exclamation mark. Sometimes you can have a question mark. You need to have some sort of punctuation at the end to show that that's where you're finished. That's where your sentence ends. Now we're moving on to the next sentence. But more Importantly, when you're writing a paper and it has multiple paragraphs, the first line of the paragraph needs to be indented. If it's not indented, it just looks like it's a really, really, really long paragraph. So remember, if you're writing in different paragraphs, each paragraph needs to be a different idea. So if I'm talking about Sally's dog ran fast and he ate this food, and then I go and talk about her house being lovely, the next paragraph needs to be about her house. So first I need to indent, and then I start with a capital letter and write my sentence. So now I'm going to give you guys your sentences, and I want you to go work with a partner, and I want you to come back, and we're going to take one, maybe two sentences, and we're going to discuss what was wrong in those sentences. Okay, so you guys have already gone and you have taken your sentences and you've worked together with a partner. So now I have two sentences here that we're going to discuss and we're going to go over together as a class. The first sentence that I have says, the baby is 2. There are 3 things wrong with this sentence. Does anybody know what's wrong? Right. The first letter needs to be capitalized. So the T in the needs to be capitalized. The baby is 2. Now I don't need to indent because this isn't a whole paragraph, okay? So there's 2 more things that are wrong. Can anybody tell me? Punctuation at the end. Now what is it going to be a question mark? No. We can just put a period, right? Period. There's one more thing that's wrong. And this one's hard because when we were just talking, I didn't mention spelling. Okay, this is tricky. We're talking about the age of this baby. Is this how you spell the number 2? T-O? No, that's why it's tricky. Because when you're talking about, you didn't know that we were talking about age because it's spelled wrong. But we're talking about the baby's age, and the baby is how old? 2. So how do you spell 2? T-W-O. Good job. And what was the punctuation that we said was at the end? A period. Good. The baby is 2, period. Good job. We're all here. So we're going to discuss what I have on my board. First, I'm going to read it to you, and as I'm reading it to you, I want you to watch and listen and see if you can find some of the things that are wrong, okay? Yesterday, my mom took me to Chick-fil-A for dinner. Yesterday, my mom took me to Chick-fil-A for dinner. I saw some kids there my age. I played with a girl named Bailey. We had fun. So remember, there are 9 things wrong with this, okay? So where can we start? What's the first thing that you guys noticed? Yeah, yesterday needs to be capitalized. Why does it need to be capitalized? Because it's the beginning of a sentence, correct? I'm going to use my red marker to show you what we've done and what we've changed, okay? Capital Y for yesterday because it's the beginning of the sentence, okay? Yesterday, my mom took me to Chick-fil-A for dinner. What else? Chick-fil-A needs to be capitalized. Why does Chick-fil-A need to be capitalized? Because it's the name of a restaurant. What else is wrong with Chick-fil-A? I don't have any dashes to show that those words go together. And if you look at Chick-fil-A, it says Chick-fil-A. There you go. Chick-fil-A. Okay, I see a question mark. Is that a question? Yesterday my mom took me to Chick-fil-A for dinner? That's not a question. That was a statement. So I need to take away the question mark and add a period. What else? It's right there next to it. The letter I. I is stating a person. It needs to always be capitalized, whether it's at the beginning of a sentence or in the middle of a sentence, okay? I should always be capitalized. So I saw 4 kids. Is that a number or am I saying 4? I saw 4 kids. No, I saw 4 kids. Is that how you spell 4? No. F-O-U-R. 4. That's the number. 4 kids. There? Does there need to be capitalized? No. It's not the beginning of a sentence, right? There's no punctuation up here. So there doesn't need to be capitalized. My age. I have punctuation. What's next? Capitalization, and it's an I, so it always needs to be capitalized. I played with a girl named Bailey. What's wrong with Bailey? It needs to have a capital B because it is her name. Bailey. Is there a punctuation? Yeah. We had fun. The end. I'm missing one more. What else is there? What else is missing? Punctuation. What am I going to put there? A question mark? No. Could I put an exclamation mark there? I could. Yeah. We had fun. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put an exclamation mark. Okay? So now we've practiced here together as a class. You've practiced in groups. Now I want each of you to go to your iPad, and I want you to create a paragraph. Oh, I missed one more. This is a paragraph, isn't it? So what needs to happen right here? It needs to be indented, so you know that it's the beginning of a paragraph. Indented. Okay, so I need to indent because it's the beginning of my paragraph. So now I want you guys to go back with your iPads, and I want you to come up with a couple sentences, a paragraph, and I want you to make errors that you want your partner to find. And then at the end, after everybody's done and your partner has found your errors, I'm giving you guys about 20 minutes to do it. So you need to be working on it. And once we're done, we're going to come back together and we'll work through them as a class just like we did here. And that way you all get to practice 1, writing, and 2, noticing errors, okay?